Vader's hatred for Palpatine's order of Inquisitors was obvious, and to be quite honest, the feeling was mutual. But unfortunately for the group of dark side assassins, they couldn't do very much about it. From their very first days together, Vader took a dislike to them and mercilessly defeated them in lightsaber duels, often mutilating them in the process. So exactly which of the Inquisitors did Darth Vader defeat in battle? We will answer that question and more in today's underrated moment. It only took a few weeks for Darth Vader to realize his master, the once compassionate Chancellor Palpatine, was a cunning manipulator. And sometime during those initial months in service, Vader discovered that Sidious had an entirely separate order of Sith-like Force users under his command. Vader thought it was just him and Palpatine who would rule the galaxy together, and the discovery of another group of Dark Jedi jeopardized not only Vader's role in the new Empire, but also made him regret his decision to turn in the first place. With swelling emotions of resentment and anger at the betrayal bubbling beneath the chest plate, Darth Vader ignited his crimson blade every chance he could and turned it against the Inquisitors. He often claimed he was trying to teach them to be better Sith, but the truth was more obvious. He was showing them who was in charge. The very first Inquisitor Vader dueled was the leader of Palpatine's secret order, the Grand Inquisitor. The Sith-like assassin had actually been a Jedi once upon a time, and over his years in the Temple, he grew more and more disillusioned with the Jedi's bizarre need to conceal ancient lore and techniques. When Palpatine lured him to the dark side, he was more than happy to take the plunge. Early into the birth of the Empire, after Vader's failure to stop Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar, and a short while after the new Sith Lord created his own lightsaber, Vader discovered a Grand Inquisitor in the Jedi Temple. Of course, Palpatine had never bothered to introduce the two. So, assuming this was a new enemy, Vader ignited his crimson blade and immediately engaged. For a short moment, between the glowing blue archives of the ruined library, the Grand Inquisitor thought he might have had Sidious's new apprentice on the ropes. But Vader was only testing the assassin to see how skilled in combat he was. After observing his fill, Vader quickly shoved his lightsaber between the spinning gaps of the Inquisitor's blade and destroyed it at its hilt. When he then raised his hand to strike a killing blow on the white-skinned Utapau native, Darth Sidious arrived to stop the fight before death was dealt. From that moment, Vader became the commander of the Inquisitor unit, and he proceeded to brutalize each and every one of them. Having defeated the first among the Order, Vader took to quickly dismantling the rest. Echoing the same injuries he suffered in his duel on Mustafar, Darth Vader fought the fifth brother and removed his right hand, fought the sixth brother and removed his left hand, and then fought the ninth sister, carving her right eye from her skull. All in all, by the time Darth Vader departed for his next mission to hunt down Jocasta Nu within the abandoned Jedi Temple, he had already fought and defeated 4 Inquisitors, and those are just the ones that are explicitly stated in the secret records of the Emperor. Vader targeted all of the Inquisitors in the same fashion, mutilating them in combat in order to bring them closer to the dark side and help them better serve Sidious. Just before Emperor Palpatine decided to remove the Order from Coruscant, Vader killed 2 of the Inquisitors who were secretly lovers, as Vader thought that they seemed to be losing their loyalty to the dark side. That was the final brutal act that Palpatine couldn't overlook, and eventually the main reason that Sidious placed the Inquisitors on the distant world of Nur, so that Vader couldn't waste his valuable assets. In the end, Vader's victories over the Inquisitors proved one thing. Although he was far from the perfect Sith warrior he could have been, former Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker was still far more formidable than almost anyone else in the galaxy. And for the Inquisitors, it served as yet another reminder that their insignificant careers as Jedi served as a foreshadowing as their insignificant lives as Sith assassins.